Welcome to the show. All right, we're gonna start off today by hopping into some Storm collectible repairs. Notice how I jumped right into that? Like, let's do it. I say that, and now I look at the Spider-Man I've been working on, and I really wanna. I need to test that. I told the person that should be out tomorrow or the next day. Man, what I really don't like about these freaking Storm collectibles figures, though, is man, these old ones at least, the hips just want to pop off whenever you're bending them. They pop back on, but, you know, who has time for that? I don't. All right. So first off, I don't know if I've ever done a tutorial on the Storm collectibles, but I don't think I'd be bringing anything new to the table. So I doubt I'll do one of those. But at least for the ankle repair, I mean. But for the Ryu, that one's going to be wild, man. I'm going to be... If the Ryu works tonight, I think that'll be really cool. I've got a pretty wacky repair in store for that one. And if it doesn't work the way I'm planning it, then I might end up having to just make a new one. Like make a new joint out of scratch plastic. But we'll see what happens, okay? What's going on, Julian? My man Samurai Chris. Josue Kale. What's up, dude? And Ori's here. Clap, clap. Just give me a few claps. All right, let's do this. So first off, we're gonna start off repairing. Like I said, we're gonna do Guile today, and this is a pretty simple repair. I don't think this might be one of those ones where I kind of luck out and I don't have to remove the peg from the ankle here. Usually you can heat these up and pop them out, but since I think you can probably tell, let's zoom in just a tad here. Not too much. Let's see if we can see where this connects. And as I said before, like these old figures, man, you can just pop the leg up like so, and they'll come right off. That always kind of sucks. That's you can fix that. There's a way to fix that. I mean, it's not like they're broken, but man, that's just kind of upsetting. So, yeah, the Punisher of fixing figures. That is so funny. Dual wielder, man. All right, so let's see where this is gonna fit. I can see here. Let's see if we can't zoom in for you guys. Move this guy. Let me move this up. I'm getting a magnifying glass light, so we'll see how that works. All right. Didn't trim my nails down. All righty. So let's see where we're at here. Man, why? Gosh, this is a really like nice camera too, and so it bothers me when it doesn't like focus. I think it's trying to autofocus. Let's turn that off. There we go. Okay. So you can see, as I was saying, see if this will move for us. Oh man, it's pretty tough. Let's see if this will work. Alright. So, see if we can't move this. There we go. Okay, cool. It'll move. It's tight, but it'll move. There you go. You can see where this snapped. Let's see if this will... Gosh, man, cuticles are wrecked. We're gonna see where this will fit. Almost threw it off the table. Sheesh. Man, I've been dealing with this lately. Like pieces that just don't kind of want to go back regular, and so or like how they're supposed to fit. But that's how this one's gonna fit right here. It fits perfect. So a lot of times what I'll do, and this is kind of my method here. This is my method. What sucks right now though is I freaking cut into my super glue last night while I was trying to fix it. So that sucks. I was trying to cut this off a little bit, like some more of the super glue off, and I cut right into it. So now it's I cut like in the side here. So it's popping out the side, which really sucks. Let's see if I get a little more use out of it at least. So we'll stab down in there and that should open that up. Luckily, I do have a backup for this kind of thing, and that is precision tips for super glue. These are really cheap. Look at this. You can see, like, it looks like it was just like pulled out of something. It was just like, it's just this plastic. If you were to get these, you do not need all of this. You can just watch this. I'll show you. This is how we do it. We can cut off here. We might even be able to cut off more than that, and you can cut off pretty far up on this guy too. Should have used our bag, huh? Anyways, oh, I found it. I found the broken piece. So you take this precision tip that we've cut, and you just simply apply it, like so. And I hope I might have cut off a little too much there. I think this had more to it last night. Let's see, hang on. Let's see if I can't trim this down. Yeah, I think some of the super glue hardened, and made this a little thicker. I think that just stuck to my arm and then fell over. Okay, now let's try this again. And I still might have cut this thing too freaking shallow. All right, take two. Jeez. I thought I cut it that short last night, but I guess I didn't. So we'll do it again. All right, not so low. There we go. Double check, make sure that's gonna fit. There we go. That's what we want. Yeah, gosh, what was I thinking? I cut that way short. And then you can just do like so. And this actually lets you really control where that stuff going. Thus the name precision tip. And this is pretty cool. Oh, cool. Hey, Tyrone's in here. Dude, so that is my client that I'm fixing these for. Yeah, man, so I was going to say, he says the brake was his fault completely. Went wild cranking on it right out of the box. Man, you said, I mean, okay, fair enough. I mean, that's cool that you would say that as well, but I have seen this break more than once. I saw, so what happened once was somebody Sagat, their Storm Collectibles Sagat fell from their shelf, landed on his feet, and both feet broke off exactly like this, which that's a big heavy figure, but man, both at the same time snapped, which is out of control. Yeah, this, and like I said, don't get worried. I'm sure you've noticed this before, and like I said, there is a way to stop this, but it's not really, I don't know, man. It's not that, as far as so this is what I call a good break, and I've actually called these good breaks since I was a kid. The kind that you can still put the leg back on or the arm back on, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good break. So this could probably be fixed if this edge right here was made larger. I've done this a lot. And it's not really a fun fix, but it can be fixed. But I don't know. I think it's part of their engineering. Anyways, let's get to it. What I like to do here, I'm going to zoom out just a tad so I don't miss anything. I tend to drift, as you guys know, whenever I'm doing these repairs. So let's see if we can't get them a little closer to us. All right, we won't need the boot right now. All right, so we're going to take our super glue, and we're going to test, make sure it's going to come out correctly. Yeah, see, it's flowing out right here, which is what I don't want. I'm still trying to use it while I have it, because it's still going to work as glue. All right, so we're going to cover this little piece right here that we broke, right? And then I'm going to try to take this and I'm going to wrap it over to the right so we can try to avoid it getting in that little seam. We want it to fit nice and snug. And so this is not the fix. This is to help us fix it. And what's going to happen here is I do this because the issue we've run into here is that when this broke, it broke at a kind of an angle. So it's not a flat, clean break. And so when we go to twist this thing back on, it's going to get, we're going to have our screw in here, and here's our piece. Let's say that we had this piece that this is what we want, nice and flat. Well, it's kind of like this. There's kind of an angled edge, so when you're spinning that around, that angled edge is going to cut into the other angle because it's not a flat break. We could shave it down, but I think we can get it to work. And the whole reason I'm putting this glue on here right now is it's going to hold this in place. I'm going to go and hop onto the Ryu and see if we can do something really wild with that one while this is drying. So when we come back, what I'm going to do, and it basically just gives you enough time to drill a hole through the peg and into this while it's still secure. So you're going to know that it's going to line up perfectly with that hole. Because if you were to drill a hole down the middle of this, keep in mind, this is not like, if you could see that, we'll zoom in here. Stupid camera, I swear. You guys are familiar with these. They're like, the peg is like half on. You know what I mean? Like it overlaps into the disc. So it's not just a middle of the peg on the disc. It's like slightly over. So it's just halfway over, which is why these things break all the time, honestly. Yeah, it's because they don't have like a full flat contact. So with that little halfway piece, all it takes is to snap. It's literally like when you chop into a tree and it's got a chunk missing, it's easier to break that tree. And that's kind of weird that's how they decided to go with a lot of these joints. I mean, here's a perfect example of like a Figma or Revoltech joint right here. It's the same thing. These half and half joints. It's the joints work more than not, but it's probably my most commonly fixed joint. All right, so while that glue is drying, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the precision tip so it doesn't stick to it. Another cool thing, it won't stick, so you can pull it off. I'm gonna go and close this glue to try to save some. I think 3 other bottles of it, but waste not, waste not. Okay, so we're gonna set Guile aside for a second, and we don't really need the. Well, I guess we can bring the figure over here. So this is a really cool Ryu. I didn't even know they made this one. It's like a variant. It's like brown. This looks like an outfit I would have used in like Super Street Fighter or something like that. I always liked that. I think I used to fight with Ken in a brown suit. And then I loved Ryu's navy blue with like the yellow headband. I always thought that was a cool variant. Anyways, so this right here, the hand is fine. The hand I just took off. We can put the hand back on if we need to. Which now that I think about it, the photo I took had me holding the hand up like I'm fixing the hand, but it's really this. We're fixing this arm right here. So this right here is the joint. And what you can see here, this is like those cooking shows, it's like, well, we've already got a cake in the oven. This right here has actually already been glued. This thing broke in 3 places. So much like that earlier, the Guile bit, what we've done here is we've glued it. So it's all been glued back together. What I'm going to attempt to do here is something that I've done before. This one's a little smaller and has a lot more breaks in it. But we're going to see if I can't do this. So what I want to do is I'm going to take a small drill bit, and we're looking at about this is a 0.6, but I don't know if I want to go that small. We got a 0.9, 0.8. 0.8 might be the magic number right now. That's going to be our starter bit, is the 0.8 millimeter. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this joint and we're going to drill here. We're going to drill here. And then we're going to drill here. And so we can put 3 screws into this thing, which sounds like a bit of overkill, but it's honestly the only way we would be able to fix this factory joint. And I want to make sure, though, that whenever I do this, because otherwise what I would do is I'd have to make one of these from scratch. I thought about sending it off to Corey to Casting K, but he's busy. He's got enough stuff going on right now. So I figured it'd be more fun to actually do this one live. And also, what I don't think is going to show up once we put this in is I don't think you'd be able to see. You might see one of the screws. I'm trying to avoid you seeing the screws in here. I think it'd barely be noticeable. When I'm looking at this right here, there's one spot that you might get a tinge, just a slight look at it. But if it works, it works. And if you can barely see it or not see it, that's what I'm aiming for. So we're going to go ahead and give it a shot here. And if this is a complete failure, then like I said, it's nothing to, well, it's not like it's nothing, but we can always make another one of these from scratch. The issue you run into that is I have to find the right color plastic. You know, you want to find it as close as you can do. You can get it there. So I like to try to use the factory provided joints if I can. So with that said, wish me luck. And let's get to drilling. I was thinking about doing a tutorial over this, but I think the live is just going to have to do, because this is, I don't want to be messing with the camera and all that stuff. This is just a bit too much. So we're going to take this here, and I'm going to try really hard to stay in camera frame. I think what we could do, I don't have as much control over it, but what I usually will do is hold this with some pliers like so. In this case, what we're going to need to do first is I'm going to have to hold it like so, really trying not to break it. I don't want to clamp it too hard and it come dislodged. Okay, that feels pretty good. We're going to start with about a 4 on my speed here, and I'm going to go, I'm going to come right out of that frame. I already know I am. All right, I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to go straight in. So I've got to go straight in without cutting this plastic. I got one shot at this, and if I mess it up, like I said, we'll just make one from scratch. I got one shot. I have 3 one shots at this. So let's see what's going on. All right. So we're gonna try to. Here we go. All right. Stay right in the center. Okay. So we successfully drilled a hole through to where we wanted to go to. And what was I going to say here? Because we super glued this and let it dry, we made sure that this is going to, a lot of times though, that friction, the friction and the heat and all that vibration can break that hold in plastic, because honestly, these PVC plastics, a lot of times the super glue won't hold. That's why so many people try super glue. They're like, I put so much super glue on it. It don't matter how much you put on it. Really, they don't stick. It doesn't stick. You know what I mean? So what I do is I lace these, I drill a hole through. I lace a screw with super glue, and then I install that there, which gives it that hold and that expansion, and that's why this technique works. I came up with this technique forever ago with the eye screw, the eye hook screws. I'm not trying to claim that. As far as I know, I'm the first person that came up with that. And it's just something that I've tried so many things. You can't use pins. I've seen people use pins, and I guarantee you, if somebody's going to swear that a pin works on it, send it to me. I'll twist that thing once and it'll break like that. I won't even try. I guarantee you that'll break. They just don't hold because there's no threading in a pin. You know what I mean? So a screw which you can buy these things for. Like you can buy tons of them on Amazon for cheap, cheap, cheap. So just letting you know, that's what I do here. So like I said, I glue these pieces together, and that's gonna allow me to drill through, and hopefully, if it stays just long enough, it's gonna line up those holes. That's what we're doing here, and that's the point of the super glue. So super glue by itself won't work. Super glue, a super glue laced screw will. So, sorry, I'm trying to bounce off the chat here and look as well. I don't want to ignore you guys. Julian was saying, important question. What should I do for my egg drop project for physics? Oh man, we'd have to talk about that one. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's a fun question. I'm not gonna lie. That excites me because I love science projects, but I'm gonna focus on this right now. But maybe I'll think of something while we're doing this. Give me an explanation, Julian, as to what you have to do. I see an egg drop. Do you have to drop an egg and it not break on something? Give me more on that, and we'll talk about it in the group. And I just want to see here what we got going on. Shadow Watcher Demon Slayer says, hello, first time watching one of your streams. I enjoy your tutorials, and I'd like to say thanks again for your advice with that large Hulk figure I was having trouble with. Absolutely, man. Golly, that is that's a big boy. That's the Icons Hulk. That's a crazy one, man. This is crazy. Man, that's wild. That is so wild. All right, so, and also congrats. Good job. I mean, that's awesome. I think it's great. I don't know. I don't know. I never know what people think like that I'm gonna say, because it's like I do offer a paid service, but I'm very happy to like help. You know, if I can walk you through it, let's go. Next up, we're gonna go in one more time here, or well, we're gonna go in two more times, but let's go in real quick. We're gonna go into the top this time and try to stay right in the middle, and we have to kind of start further back. I want to, but let's see what we can do here. All right, guys, right now we're 2 for 2. We are 2 for 2. Yeah. This is looking good. This is looking good. I just want to make sure that when I drilled through that first one that I did make sure I made contact, and I think I did. Looking pretty good. All right, so we got one more to go. And then we're going to go up from the bottom of the other one, just like we did the first. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to go in from the side because it gives us a better angle on this one. So in the first one, we went up this way, and then this one, we're going to go down this way. So here we go. Wait, let me make sure I'm getting in the right spot. Okay, so it has to be in this piece, and it has to go into that piece. There we go. Stay right in the center. Okay. So we have 3 successful holes drilled all the way through. Stayed in the middle, which is great. The first one we did is just slightly to the left, but honestly, that one just needs to go in just far enough. And it looks like it went. It looks pretty good. I'm very happy with all of these. The problem that we have now, or not problem, our next step is that we've got to make these holes a little bigger. You'll notice I started with the 0.8 millimeter, right? And you know what? I'm gonna have to. This is one of the okay. So this is one of those repairs that I get really excited for. I remember seeing this, and I thought about, like I said, I thought about getting it casted, but these are kind of fun to do. Because they look impressive, because quite honestly, I think they are. I impress myself with these things, man. This is crazy. I've done this a few times, but like I said, I've never done one on this small of a joint, so we'll see what's going on here. I'm gonna just take a few photos here for the gram, and let me try to see if we can't get every one of these. You got to be real careful with these what are these called? Finger drills. All right. I don't want to break it. Let's see if this one went all the way through here. Where'd you go? Make sure this is going to fit correctly. All right, let's make sure it went in. What side did we go in through? Was it here? Oh, I think it's here. There it is. I was wondering why that wasn't going in. Okay. Be very careful. You can break these drill bits very easy. I've broken countless amounts of these. There's another photo there. And for the final one, let's take a photo of... my favorite thing about this, though, is... so I finally, the other day, I turned on my notifications back on YouTube to see, and it's interesting, man. I find it funny sometimes to hear other people's critiques of my repairs, and it's interesting, or how they do it. And I think it's great. I think everybody's gonna have different ways of doing things. Had one guy really going crazy on one, like just telling people to use something different in every single comment. I was like, this is crazy. But it was fun. It's really fun, though. It's fun to see that and the interaction. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see this, because I always learn something from it. But it's always fun to see me do this kind of a repair, and they're like, what are you doing, man? Why are you making it so difficult? Like, there's 1,000 other ways you could do this. And I would tell me how you could use, the factory pieces and get them back together and make it functional. That's really funny too. Is like, that's a thing. That's a common question I get is, will it be able to move when you're done with it? And it's, they don't know. People don't know. And I just kind of crack up and I'm like, yeah, man. What do you take me for? Some kind of amateur? Although I have, I've had repair fails in the past, and I always make good on them. But it happens. It's not an exact science. All right, so now I'm gonna take this and do not listen to Ori. Don't. What Ori's saying right there is a joke that somebody had tried to do and tell people that you can microwave figures and to heat them up. You cannot do that. You can do that just as well as you can, go run over a mailbox with your car. It doesn't mean you should do it. It also doesn't mean you won't get in trouble or sick or hurt from it. So don't do that. Don't ever put a figure in the microwave. I don't care if you've done it in the past and it's worked. I do. KJ, do not. Ori, you have to be. I swear to God. KJ, man, at first, I didn't see the LOL at first. I was like, oh my God, Ori, gotta watch it with them jokes. All right, now get me all worked up. I'm gonna go back in with a 0.9 millimeter drill bit now, because we need to make these holes a little bigger for the screws we're gonna use. So here we go. We're gonna go back in, since we've already got our holes lined up, and let's hope that we can get one more pass through here. All right, we're going to go in. There we go. Hopefully these holes don't break my freaking drill bit. That actually worked incredibly well. Man, the plat. So here's one fun thing about Storm Collectibles is I like to say that they repair well. Tyrone said, you can just light the figure on fire too. My man, that's funny, dude. The toaster oven works great too, says McButter Golem. I don't know that name, so welcome. That's awesome. Man, oh, I love it. You can make your own human torch. You guys are wild. What are y'all doing out there? Don't burn your figures. Don't do that. Don't do that. Ori knows a little too well, don't you, Ori? About putting fire to flame to the figures. Man, luckily we went with just a 0.1 smaller than this. Dude, no, Clockwork Orgy. I'm not advocating run over mailboxes with your cars. Listen, public service announcement. Clockwork Orgy is pretty dang talented. Props to the art you did the other day. But don't run over mailboxes unless they have secrets about you in them. I mean, I'm not saying do that, but if the mailbox has secrets about you in it, I'm just saying. All right. Let's go in one more time. So far, so good. This is the third run. Man, god dang. Look at that. How about that? This is crazy. Oh, this looks like those what were those old toys, man? You remember those old toys? They were all made out of wood. Back in my day, toys where they were made out of wood, and it was like I think you could make cars and all sorts of stuff with them. They were like wooden like dowel rods, and they almost had like a circular cookie shape, and they had holes all the way in them, and you could poke those in it and stick things together and basically build whatever you wanted to out of them. That's what this looks like right now. It's got a bunch of, I don't know if you could even see it. Let's see if we can show. Look at that. See all this? Look at all these holes. Look at those perfectly centered holes that we've drilled in here. All right. So next up, what we're gonna do, man. While we're at this, nope. I'm gonna finish Ryu and then we'll get to Guile. Guile is technically the easy one. Ryu, this one is bananas. I'm just hoping that after all this is done, that first off, Tyrone, you have to okay this. No, not Lincoln Logs. They weren't Lincoln Logs. They were like, man. Yes, Jose, don't run over. If you run over a mailbox, yes, that is a, God dang it. That is a federal offense, tampering with the mail. Do not do that. KJ, don't. God, that's the worst. That would be the worst. That would be the worst. Run over mailboxes for Maru hashtag. Don't do that. You guys gonna get me You guys want to get me canceled? Oh man, here we go. Glue together, recast that jive. I was thinking about that, Olaf, but I don't want to bother Corey with this, and I thought this would make a fun, interesting video, and I'm gonna give Tyrone the most reinforced joint I've ever made. I've done 2 before, and I don't know if I've ever done 3 screws. I might have done 3 screws once. But as far as tiny goes, this little guy right here this is gonna be a work of fun right here. This is a work of passion. Okay, so now we're gonna take our 3. We've got 3 eye hook screws right now. These are 1mm. So here we go. Oh, my man Anthony's in here. What's up, dude? I'm gonna do it. Bring me the mailboxes. He will too. If it's his birthday, Anthony might go breaking mailboxes. So we gotta watch out for him. It's out of control sometimes. Let's see. This one went all the way on this side. So a lot of these I want to make sure that, first off, that they do fit. Because if they're too tight, that could cause a problem for us. Like I said, I went in with a 0.9. Let's see. Tinker Toys. There you go. Tinker Toys. That's it. Shadow Watcher. I'm right on. Yeah. Tinker Toys, dude. Yeah, I had those when I was a kid, man. Those things are awesome. Okay. Oh, man, this is feeling a little tight. I don't want it to be too tight, because if it's too tight, then whenever it gets to that edge and I start pressing and it's trying to work its way into the hole, it could push the plastic out, and I might be able to... So here's what I might be able to do. Maybe I can grip it. Maybe I can grip it like this. And let's see. Let's see if I can twist this in there. I usually don't like to do... This is really a experiment that we're doing here, but I thought it might be fun for us all. Okay. Let me make sure I'm going in the right way here. Let's see. Let's make sure we're going in. This one went... Where did this guy go? I think this one went down. This one goes across. This is wild. I'm like getting myself confused here. Sorry, this one went down at an angle. So we got to go down at an angle a little more. I think I might just have to grip it with my hands. I don't know. All right, let's see what happens. I just need to make sure that I have this thing like gripped tight enough that it's not going to give way on me. All right. So bring it up. It needs to be at like this angle. I just want to make sure it's not trying to push through straight. I think I probably just cracked it. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Another thing that you don't want it to do is if it's too tight and you're putting that screw in there, if it's too tight, it can snap the screw because they're pretty thin. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty thin. Let me make sure I stay on camera too. I need a cameraman is what I need. What's up, Raiden? Sorry, I had to read it like it was written. See, I could see, so it definitely did split on me. But you'll notice we got the screw all the way in, which means this is connected. I can see it like kind of came out a little bit in the middle of the hole, which is not a problem. That happens all the time. I'm going to go ahead and back this up a little. I'm going to back it back out. I always got to test. You always got to test everything. So now that we know that it worked its way in, that's great. And what I might do is we could probably go ahead and lace this one. Actually, this one's good to go. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to clamp this just a little bit by holding it basically like this. I can't go too tight with it, but I just want to make sure that this stays where it is. And luckily we don't have to I don't think I'll have to straighten any of these out because they only kind of have to go in just enough to grip into the other plastic. And I feel like I should open up another super glue because right now I got to keep using these stupid precision tips, but I don't want to waste my super glue. And I know with that hole being there, these things are going to freaking dry up on me. I just don't want to waste a whole deal of super glue. But since we've already done it like freaking twice tonight, we know the length to cut our precision tip, so that's good. All right. I'll probably cut a little off of this. There we go. Yeah, like I said, I'm literally just using that to block that side that I cut through with a dang razor last night. I was just in here. What was I working on? Oh, it was that freaking Spider-Man. God. Spider-Man had me going crazy last night because it's got trying to put the crotch piece back together. There's like no peg holes in it at all where it was like originally sealed. And so it just kind of fits together, and it was just every time you try to pinch it, it would slide off, and something was already warped in it, and it was just a mess. It wasn't fun. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put our super glue in here on the screw. That should be enough. I want to try very carefully here to not break all the work that we did. I think it's just going to be smarter if I just go in the same way I did, though, honestly. That way, at least something is gripping it together. Sorry, getting quiet. I was trying to focus real quick. All right, here we go. Going back in. Don't you fall. Don't fall. Nothing worse than when you drop your dang screw after you've so carefully coated it in super glue. And not only are we in, but it actually closed it off. Looks like it closed it off a little better than it did before, which is great. Good deal. And we can just leave that in there for right now. I think it'll make for an interesting photo, and we're gonna let that glue dry. However, there's just a little dab of excess glue on the outside here. So we're gonna take a little piece of napkin, wipe that off, just wipe it around, and good deal. All right, so that's 1 out of 3. Next, all right. So this is going to get interesting because there's a certain spot over here where they're going to intersect. We don't want that. We can't have them touching. So I'm going to... Let me see what I can do here. So I think what I'll do... I don't think they're actually going to need to intersect. So all this one has to do here, the second one, is going to have to connect the other half on the side together. So let's go ahead and put our screws in here. I think Julian just went biblical on everybody. Care thee not, 'tis thy Son of God to be graciously pardoned for thy mistake. Well, look at you. Getting all biblical on us today, Julian. What are you doing? I'm going to hold this in just like before. And hopefully that'll keep it together. It's really as far in as it needs to go. It doesn't really need to go in any further. We don't need to go all the way up because this will expand all the plastic. And it's going to look kind of ugly at the beginning here as well, but that's totally okay. We will be sanding it back down. We'll sand it all smooth, and that should work out well for us. So far, I'm very confident in this. The only thing I'm not sure about is how it's going to look, around the sides. This thing is like just kind of full of super glue right now, so I'm just stuffing it into this like precision tip. I can tell you right now that this glue will not survive past tonight. This is its final night, guys. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this back in, just like we did before. See if I can't go in a little bit. There we go. Little twist here. Little twist there. Just a little extra. Ooh, let's not go too far. I can feel it starting to want to get crazy on me. I think you have to. It's like more in old English. You had to read it like that. Throw it in the trash. Why would I do that? Nolan, you're crazy. Why would I throw it in the trash? This guy with his aggressive comments. He's so aggressive. They didn't want that toy if they broke it. You can ask him. He's in he's in the chat. I think he wants it. I think he does want it, and he wants it back, and he wants it fixed. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so now we've got one left, and it's just got to take the top. This thing is wild looking. Wait till you guys see this thing. It looks crazy. Oop, don't you break on me. Come on. Nice. All that work. Yeah, man. That's what we're here for. He says he definitely... All right, he wants it. We got to keep going then. We got to fix it. I don't know if that glue's coming out. I'm afraid if I try to take this thing out, it's going to explode on me. I've had problems with super glue on the stream before. We're not going through that again. Man, what a night. All right, so I'm just going to... I think it locked up. It's already locking up on me. Take our big old sculpting tool here and just stab down into it. You might be saying, what happens if that super glue dries to your sculpting tool? You take a razor blade and you cut it off. Just slide it off. It's very easy. All right. So since God, it's like coming, look at this, coming out of the side. I have to use the side of the super glue. Hey, whatever works, I guess. Oh, that's way too much glue. That's nuts. I hate it whenever the super glue just gets crazy. Should have recast it. Hey, thanks, Nolan. Like, I didn't know that was an option. But, isn't this more fun? I think so. This would be the most secure joint you've ever seen. And the beauty about it is that 95% of it is hidden inside of the figure. So you never even see all of this. So technically, this is going to be insanely secure. I don't know, though. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover it up or not. We'll see. This side right here might work. This is bananas. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this alien. This is awesome. Look at that. That's wild, isn't it? 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. Let's take a photo. Because that's just freaking crazy. And we're going to let this dry for a little bit. And while this is drying, we're going to go ahead and get back to Guile. So Guile, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. We are going to use a thicker screw. I want that on this ankle peg. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to drill this through. I said got both of these from BBTS, and they might have been the last in stock because they were sold out before I got them. That's another issue, man. Sometimes that happens. You know, you get something that's a hot item, especially like this Guile. I mean, it's just player 1 colors, Guile. This is whenever it looked, you know, a lot of potential, and this figure is awesome. It's a really cool figure. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, yes, the dude, yeah, Nolan, the whole joint broke. They broke in 3 pieces. That's why I went nuts with this thing. We're going to go ahead and drill into this, and hopefully we can go all the way down. I'm going to make sure that, yeah, this will go all the way down. So as long as this goes all the way in, we're good. Hopefully we won't break our drill bit here. We're going to go down the side of it, this side of it here. And, you know, I told you earlier that if you bend these legs up, they will pop off. So we're going to go and do that because it's going to make things a lot easier. And I just snapped off the peg like an idiot. All right, whatever. So forget what I said earlier. Sometimes you just got to go in. Since I've snapped it off. Like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What I'm going to do is, and I've done this multiple times too, I'm going to go in right here, down the side, because that's where it's going to connect, and we will get this thing connected correctly. So, and at least this lets me know if I went all the way through, so... All right, so we got, you can see here, hopefully, that it's not centered, and that's on purpose. You'll notice it's off to the side here. As we mentioned earlier, you can see right here, this is where there was no break. Oh, let me move it. There's no break here. It's all on this half because that's the only half piece that was connected. So what we're going to do is, since we've drilled a hole through here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our best to line this up, which I don't think will be too big of a problem. And we'll screw it on and we'll see what happens here. Let's go in. Straight down. Slightly off to the side. We don't want to go in too far because we don't want to hit the disc that's in here, or excuse me, the pin. Oh my god, I just broke my stupid drill bit off. I knew I was gonna do that too. Luckily it's hanging out just enough to where I can get it out. Dude, I can't tell you. I think I've done that before on a stream. I broke a drill bit and had to drill the stupid thing out. Sucked. Really sucked. Go ahead and try to drill back in here just real quick. I just wanted to see how far the drill bit went in. That's pretty good. And just in case you did go in too far, and like I said, you hit the peg, the pin that's in there that's holding the disc on. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this up here. There we go. That'll pull that up in the front. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, just in case, like I said, if you did go through and you drilled into that pin, you want to make sure that you move the disc up, move it up, because once you do put that screw in there, you don't want it to get caught in it, and then it locks up your ankle, and that sucks. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this bigger one. Now we're going to have to use a larger drill bit. And the reason why I don't go in with the larger drill bit initially is because a smaller one's going to give us more room to play with. It's going to give us a better guide, so to speak, if we want to basically keep it in the center. If you go in with one of these bigger guys and you just drill right into it, chances are you could, it's a possibility you could knock it off to the side, which you don't want to do. You could drill out of the area you want, so we don't want that either. So like I said, it just gives you a way to guide it in. And I'm actually going to grab this with these. I've got these really cool, I always bring these up, but these pliers that have like a rounded notch kind of here in the middle, little nook. And it allows you to grip rounded objects without them flying off into orbit if you clamp them too tight and they get away from you. There you go. Let me make sure this is up here. All right, got our hole there. I'm going to do it on the same thing here. Like I said, I want to make sure. I should have kept that in the same spot, honestly, before I moved it, but it's okay. Because now I got to make sure I move it all the way over. This thing is crazy tight, man. So what we can do, actually, we can take let's go ahead and take our screw here, and let's go ahead and go in. This is a much stronger one, by the way, than those other ones. But since there's 3 of those other ones, man. Okay, I can move forward. Man, but it is locked up when I try to move it backwards. Interesting. Sometimes I'll cut the tip off of these screws as well now. I've been doing that here lately to flatten it out, and just so that sharp point isn't going in. It really depends, but when you've got something like this that's so sensitive, if that point is drilling in there, it can cause some issues every now and then. So we want to make sure that that's not going to be a problem. So what we will do is we're going to go ahead and straighten this guy out. We'll permanently attach it to this guy, and then we'll cut off the end just a little bit so it's a little more flat, just in case it is catching on anything, any kind of imperfections in there that might have been caused by drilling or might have caused it to break in the first place. I know you said you broke this, but every now and then, I don't know. I'm not so sure sometimes if it would have been all your fault, or if something, also could have went wrong in production. There could have been something going on here. We're going to get rid of this glue that was on there earlier. Didn't put a whole lot on there. Oh, what's up, man? My main man, Rocker Josh. What's going on, dude? Excellent. Every time this man shows up, it just puts a smile on my face. I hate missing out on his sound effect, but right now we are right in the middle of it, and he knows. He knows how special he is. All right, let's go ahead and there it is. Look at that. Don't put turtles for him, Chris. You think his stepdad's gonna be happy about that, man? Splinter's gonna be so angry. Splinter's gonna have to he's gonna be like, we didn't have time for hot dogs tonight. It's like, really? Here we go. Let's move these up. Hamato Yoshi. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we're straightening out this piece. Cut the tip. L'chaim, right? Way to go. Way to go. Eppa. Alright, making sure this is straight as we can get it. And what we're going to do, we'll grip this. And you notice here, like, even though I straighten it, you guys know this if you know me, but if you don't, here's a little tip. You can see that I still left this like kind of hook piece. I do that so whenever I go to put it in, it still gives me something that I can kind of grip onto. So I'm not trying to just grab this like smooth piece and it's just not working. So we don't want that. So we're gonna go ahead and try this. And so like I said, I went through a minute ago with a 1.2 millimeter drill bit, which really works well with this particular size screw. This screw was an accident. I didn't mean to get these. I was trying to get my old ones, the same ones I always got, and this one came in instead, and I was like, that's way bigger, but I love these things for certain projects, and like this one right here, like this is a big figure. Storm figures are big, thick figures, man. So what we need is that extra security whenever they're, we're trying to pose these guys. So that's why I like using these as well. Let's make sure this isn't going to be too tight. Usually what happens in almost every time, this 1.2 millimeter drill bit is just the perfect size, but all plastics react differently. You know what I mean? They all react differently to adhesives. They react differently to drilling and heat and friction and all that stuff. So you never know what you're kind of getting into. Unless you've used it before. And even then, some companies decide to kind of switch it up on you every now and then. So, just in case. We always want to test everything before we lace anything with like super glue or any of that nonsense. So here we go. We're all the way through. I think that's actually too far. We've gone a little too far through here, which is fine. Nothing super glued, and we'd have to back it out anyway. But what I want to do now while it's in here is I'm going to cut this off before we permanently attach this, because even if we were to permanently super glue this in, right? We glue our screw in and we cut the end off, and all of a sudden something ain't lining up with the threading. Can happen whenever you cut it. So we want to make sure that's not going to happen. I'm going to take this, and usually you want to be careful whenever you're sanding a screw. It's got a coating on it usually, and those metal pieces can fly off. I want to make sure I've got my my googles. There we go. And we could probably do this with the hand drill here. We don't want to go too far down. Just because, we don't want to lose all of our threading. So sand it a little flat. And we're going to have to get a better grip than that. Jeez. There we go. It's better. Okay, and that's good enough. I mean, you could see here that we've got it flat, a little more flat there on the end. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to see if this will screw in. All right, here we go. Which it should. It went in pretty farther earlier. But like I said, you can mess up the whole threading if you drill too funky. Oh yeah, this is working perfect. This is exactly what we want. Great. I'm wondering, what's cool about this too is you kind of get a second chance at this thing. Really, you can kind of grip it and move it over a little bit, and then while this is where it's at, you can still bend this plastic piece too, so it fits correctly, which is pretty awesome. Like you can literally hold it here, and then you can bend this piece so it's really pulling it in to where it needs to be. And then you can kind of bend the screw if you need to. Hopefully we don't have to. We might have to bend it just a little bit just because sometimes those things don't tend to line up as well. Yeah, I think we will need to just a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, this looks good. I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Just want to make sure. What we want to make sure is that this thing can move. And I don't know. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, this thing, you can't go too far in with this thing, I've noticed. It's not going to let you go in that far. So we want to take this out, see kind of how far we can go in with it, where it still bends. That's what we want right there. That's good. So we got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not bad. Got about 4 turns. So not bad. So we want to take this out a bit. Okay. And so once that thing starts kind of poking through the bottom there, we want to do 4 spins on it. I'm going to take this out since everything seems to be lining up well. All right, and we'll put some super glue here on this threading, not on the end. We're just going to keep it in there right now. We're going to put some super glue right here on this threading, and then we're going to drive that home. And like I said, once it starts coming out on the end, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and probably a slight 4 on that one. I don't want to go too crazy. And then we'll try to attach it and make sure that it's going to bend for us. And then we will cut off what's left of this screw, sand it down flat. I should be able to do this with my hands right now because it's been back and forth. It's got a nice firm grip in there, which is nice, but it's not too tight to where it's going to break the plastic. Looks like we're already starting to come out there, so 1 should be enough. I think I did about 2 or 3 already. We just want to make sure, like I said, there's no super glue in here yet on the tip, which is why we don't put it on the tip yet. And let's go ahead and see if we can't grip that just a little bit. I want to do 1 spin around the edge here. That's what we're going to want to do. Yep, I think that'll work. Try it one more time just in case. Okay, yeah, actually we need to back it up a little bit. I think that's in too far. Just in case. Like I said, that glue is still not done. So, all right. So now we've backed it up just enough. Let's go ahead and add our glue on this side here. You don't want to put it all over this. You want to make sure it gets on the screw and on this side of the plastic, but we don't want it to get on the other plastic. If that happens, like if it gets on this half of the joint, you might end up accidentally, attaching that, and you don't want that. You could probably, if that does happen, you could probably cut it off with you can definitely cut it off with a razor blade, and it'll be fine. But, just in case. Just want to make sure, everything's kosher and good. Okay. think we're good. Just want to make sure. And we might have to sand down this a little bit. A lot of times, like I said, you go in, you tighten it, and that plastic, if it's like that, two angles hitting each other, it's kind of like a, I don't know, man. It just doesn't. It's not doing exactly what you want it to do. It kind of smooshes it a little bit, and we don't. It sucks whenever that happens. So we don't want that to happen. I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if I can't get this one more revelation in here. I think that might be exactly what I wanted it to do. It's looking pretty good. Pretty feeling sturdy. Oh shit, I guess it didn't. Alright, let's back it up a little bit more. I don't understand. This thing is like really tight in here. I don't want that. And sometimes this is the case. What's happened to me before is if something like this does occur where for some reason the screw didn't want to connect or didn't want to hold, a lot of times you can take this piece off right here, shave it down, spin it all the way around, put it backwards, and then you can go in tighter, which I think we might have to do that. Like I said, it's a little risky going in, not taking these things out of the ankle. A lot of times that'll work. Before I do that, I'm going to try it one more time, see if we can get that tightness in there. And we might actually want to go ahead and sand off this bit right here. Probably should have sanded it smooth at the beginning, but I didn't. Or sanded it flat. You don't have to doesn't have to be directly smooth. But it'll fit correctly and you'll never even be able to tell. All right. And you can see we've still got a really good grip here. That might have been the problem that we were having. And that's another thing that happens in this kind of deal whenever you're working on it. Like sometimes you just really got to work on the fly. Yeah, cool. Sometimes I get nervous because I'll like sometimes I have to bend the screw a little bit while it's in there, and that's dangerous. It can really do a number on that plastic. It can widen out the the work that you've worked so hard to do. And if that hole gets too wide, like I said, you could flip it around and do it that way so the hole's not visible. But you also, in doing that, you start kind of breaking down that integrity of the plastic, which you don't want to do as much as possible. Make sure we're in there right. Yep. We'll make sure it's not going to come off on us real quick. Alright. Try one more time on this one, and then I feel like I'm trying to twist it around just the right way because I feel like I can get one more rotation in there, and I just want to you don't want to send it back with any doubts. I might need to put a new screw in there. Sometimes whenever you're doing the glue like that as well, it can kind of gunk up the threading on your screw. Which it's working, but I don't want any risks, you know what I mean? I don't want any gaps, and I feel like this isn't fitting as flush as I want it to, and it's doing that. Let's see here. That's where I want it, is right here. It's like just kind of like angled off to the side, and that bothers me. I don't want that. So let's see if I can't clean out this drill out this hole a little bit. this off one more time. I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, because it looks like some of the super glue is like dried, and it's kind of stopping us from getting that piece in there. And it's funny too because I've done this repair countless times, and you never know what's gonna happen, man. You know, it's like something's gonna get in your way, or something new is gonna come your way, or some kind of plastic isn't gonna work, and that's fine. We just go with the flow, and we'll get it fixed no matter what. The worst thing that could happen here is, like I said, you just got to turn it around and you'll fix it. We all fear the dreaded hook foot. Yeah, you don't want that. Part of me wants to get another screw and put it in here. Sometimes you don't get them on the first try, but we will get it. What we got? We got 40 minutes left in this stream time. I think I can get both of these things fixed by then. Ryu's going to take some sanding for sure, but we'll see what happens. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that one. We'll do another one real quick. What size do we use here? Is it one of these guys? Yeah. Just goes to show, though, also, sometimes when you're working and if it didn't work out for you, you can simply redo it. And that's why we take all the steps. That's why we take every single one of those steps carefully. Because just in case when there's a multi-step process in this, if you need to say back out a little bit, you can. We're not always that lucky, for sure. But, you know, sometimes we do get that lucky. I'm going to toss that one. And let's see. Just real quick. Just want to make sure that this hole hasn't got, like, lost its use. I don't know. It's... Yeah, I feel like I can't. Man. I feel like we might need to turn this one around. All right. So, what you do for this is, what we're going to do is sand this bit right here flat. We're going to turn it all the way around. And what I might need to do here is heat. Here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to heat this up, pull this out. I should have done this in the get-go, but it's worked so many times before, but sometimes it just doesn't. Robert Leon says, hey, Bill, don't always make it to the lives, but appreciate you spending time and energy away from the family to do these. As always, much love to you and that gorgeous mane of yours. Thank you, Robert. I really appreciate that. So this is going to sound kind of weird, but sometimes these are my favorite streams, is when something doesn't quite go right, because it's more of a teaching moment. I know I know that sounds like a cop out, but I mean, honestly, I really do. I like that. It just kind of goes to show you, like, that problems can occur. You know what I mean? Like, it's and not to panic during those problems, because we can figure it out. I know exactly what to do on this thing. Like I said, I should have done this from the get-go, but I didn't. Usually it's best to remove all the parts and whatnot. A lot of times you can just get it done, but heat up this leg so we can pull this wacky joint out. Just be careful so we don't mess up any of the plastic. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing, I guess. There's nothing real time sensitive about what we're doing though right now. Well, besides the fact that I just heated this up, so I've got to. Man, it does not want to play ball with me here. One, get that tooth in there. I just want to get a grip on this joint so I can pull it out. There we go. Okay, so if you guys were wondering, this is what the joint looks like, right? It's like we talked about earlier. It's one of those half and half kind of joints. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to take our end clippers that have decided to grow legs. Here we go. A lot of times what you want to do is we'll come in from the side like this. Find the center of the peg. Make sure you're not going to clip on anything else. And we take a plastic bag. And be careful, you don't want to just crunch down. You want to make sure that it's actually given away. Okay, that looks like it is. There we go. Oh, that sounded scary, I know, but look. So, here's your stuff right here. Here's your joint on the inside. This is the half. This is the good half. We're going to go ahead and sand it down a little bit. Even shows you like some of the glue. I told you, you know, be careful. And still some glue got on there. The reason I'm sanding that down is a lot of times whenever you go in with the end clippers like that, if you're not careful and it's not given away, you know, it can crunch a little bit off. Once again, Storm Collectibles does a really good job at hiding these joints, so if you have to, you know, mess it up a little bit, it's not a big deal. So for this right here, here's our joint that we were dealing with, and you can see just this is how much room we've had to play with, just so you get an idea. You know, it's not a lot. So whenever we're drilling in, and this is actually a good teaching moment here. So if you were to drill in too far, and let's say you drilled in and hit this is the center disc, and I'm talking about the peg that holds this closed, right? So you can see right here, if you drill in like that, and it hits this, say there's a hole, which there is holes. You can see I hit some holes here. It's gonna lock it, and you can't move it. That's why I always try to teach on this one here. But what we're gonna do today is, since this hole kind of got a little worn out whenever I was trying to pull the screw over, which it can happen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sand this nice and clean. Any of that excess glue that was there, any remnants of that peg that was there, we're gonna, just like it was never there. Okay. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, let's make sure it's smooth first. Use our cut it with it. Oh, sorry guys, let me zoom out for you. I need like an alarm that goes off on here that whenever my hands are getting outside of the frame, because a lot of times when I'm working, I tend to do this. I'm like, I get closer and closer and closer to my face, and that's not good for live streams because you guys can't see it. I keep messing with you guys and talking about I know I'm taking forever to get this room in order. I got a ton of stuff to get rid of, and I want to redo the space and make it like really cool for streams. But the problem that I've been running into is time. We all know about that. But yeah, I was thinking about getting a head cam. I'd look so stupid, but I think it'd make great video. Right, so we want this to be super smooth because we don't want it to catch on anything else. You know what's crazy is I've heard about this kind of a there's things that they can do this with, and I think my buddy Clayton, I want to say he almost had this done, or he did have it done, where you can have problems with your esophagus. Like he might not have had this done, but I can't remember. You can have like acid reflux to the point where it like burns your throat and whatnot so much that it can burn a hole. And what they can do is like take out, I think this is true, your esophagus and like piece of it and flip it around and put it in. So put it in a different way. Sounds crazy, but that's basically what we're doing here. So this is the piece that goes up in the leg right here. And this is what's going to be down, this little peg here. Gosh, that got away fast. We're going to put that into the foot, into the boot. So what we want is to make sure this hole is not only up here in the leg, but we also want to make sure that it's not going to be visible when we move it. So we're going to probably drill our hole. Let's make sure if this were to, let's make sure. I want to see how this goes in. I think it goes in kind of diagonal. So it's going to go in diagonally. So we push this probably diagonally back. We want it on the exact opposite side that it's on right now. Okay. So we're going to take this. I'm going to clamp it here. We're going to make sure we're on the exact opposite side, which is going to be right about here. And we are going to go in straight. So this time it'll be fine for us to just flatten it in there. Sorry guys, I want to show this to you, but I also don't want to mess it up. Okay, so you notice we drilled all the way through there, but we don't have to worry about anything this time because we have it disconnected. Let's go ahead and cut this smooth here. Sometimes you get a little excess once it's out. And then we're going to try to see if we can't put our screw here. And also what we can do, well, since we're doing it like this, it allows us to have full control. Make sure that's big enough, or it's not going to crack the plastic. But also gives us full control. So if we see that this thing is coming down a little too far, we can actually sand it from the underside. You can see how this is the better way to go about this, right? Just want to make sure, like I said, that when I put this in, it's not going to crack open on me. You always want to make sure that the holes are the right size. It's trying to come in at a funny angle for some reason. Let's go and drill just a little more out. I don't want it to crack on me. There we go. Slow and steady wins the race, boys and girls. Okay. Yeah, look at that, man. I mean, you can see just how freaking... You don't have, like, any room for mistake here. Let's see if that'll... Can't ever get it to focus. I need a macro lens or something. But yeah, you just don't have a lot of room to work with right here. It's going to give you, like, just... maybe a couple screws in there, and that's it. So, take it back out. Once again, we're going to try to cut this flat, which we can go ahead and sand this here. Put our goggles on. not rush into it. I would never suggest holding a screw and sanding it, but this one doesn't take a long time. If you were to hold a screw and have to sand it for like an extended amount of time, it gets incredibly hot because friction, heat travels, conducts through this. So it can get hot and stay hot for a minute. So you don't want to do that. No, don't ever hold them. But I mean, just for that little brief moment right there is no big deal. But don't make it a habit if you're doing that. Okay, so we cut this flat and I was able to put it in again. It looks like we've got plenty of room to like kind of mess around in here. The thing that you run into is that this is kind of a bowl shape. Usually that's straight down. Gives you a little more room to work with, but this one doesn't, so it's not a big deal. It's just something you kind of learn whenever you're working with it, which I'm kind of figuring that out now. I forgot that these were bowl shaped, which is kind of weird, but what are you gonna do? All right, so we're going to have to straighten this out because right now, if we didn't straighten it out, it wouldn't be long enough to go all the way through the peg. Let's go and straighten her out again. Just a bit. It didn't have to be too straight or too much straightened, I guess. And you don't want to rush it, even if you're doing it live. Doing it live. Here we go. Make sure I'm on camera. Okay. So, back through. Take 2. Or 7, whatever we're on. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add some more glue, like I said, on the threading again. You little jerk. I think it locked in on me again. That's how bad, like I said, this super glue is toast tonight. This is its last stand. Let's see if we can't get some glue out here. There we go. We got some glue coming out. Great. I'm pretty a little more liberal with it on here. Like, get to go wild with it because on the first pass, just because you want to make sure it's going to cover each one of those threads when it goes inside. We're not going to get a whole lot of turns on this guy, so I want to make sure when we do it, that it comes out right. All right, let's see if that's going to be too much or just enough. Let's go ahead and hit that glue. We don't have to worry about it hitting the other side either because we've... Oh, whoa, that's a lot of freaking glue. Okay, yeah. Now it's not playing nice with me at all. Okay, we're going to get rid of some of that. Although, it might not be a bad idea to have like this big glob of glue because, like I said, it's not connected right now. It will take longer to dry, though, if you do that. So just so you know. If you go crazy with glue, it'll take a long time. Okay. And we still want our peg to line up properly. Let me see if we can zoom in on this one for you. There we go. You see there's just a little bit of screw right there showing, which isn't really a big deal, but it can cause some sort of hang up. But what we're going to do is we're going to let this dry a little more. You can see that right here that it's not fully flush with the or not, excuse me, it is flush, but it's not lined up with the piece. See how it's kind of right here, kind of lips over going this way? That's what we wanted. So now it's nice and straight. This is actually much better than the first one we had. Sometimes these things just like work really well for Storm Collectibles. Like I said, they repair really well, but we just kind of ran into a snag on this one. It's not a big deal. Okay, so back to Ryu. While that glue dries on that joint here, we're going to now snip each one of these screws off. So I'm going to take our end clippers here. We're going to get a good grip from the side. Okay. I'm going to put them in here. Clip that. And we're going to do that 3 more times. And 1 more on this side here. I use these because they get a pretty good close cut, which is always nice. Now, since we have it cut, which I'm going to go ahead and take a photo of this one. Like I said, this one's really fun. Oh, and it stands up on its own too. That's even more impressive. It does tricks. And we're going to grab this and we're going to sand it. With our goggles on, of course. Like how Shadow Warrior said, but Bill is like Bill likes problems, but Bill doesn't like problems with Bills. This is true. This is true. This is definite. That is accurate. I don't like problems with Bills. I'm gonna sand this. Okay. 1. Come on. All right. I'm sure y'all enjoyed that. I bet that was a wonderful noise for everybody. And it was so quick, too. Well, that's what happens whenever you got to sand down screws and a bit of metal. It takes a little longer. But the good news is we've got this guy sanded down. And it looks like this side right here is going to be our best one. Go ahead and sand some of this down in the center. Shape it out, make sure it's nice and smooth and rounded. I can see one little piece right here that I don't think is completely smooth. All right, that's looking pretty good. And I think our center's fairly smooth. You can take like one of these drill bits like so. Just kind of wiggle it around in there. I think earlier we mentioned that there might be a little piece of screw hanging out, but we'll see. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the piece that came off, or that actually goes into the arm, and we're going to test it, see if it fits through. See, I think it's going to be like this. So let's do that. Yeah, okay. As far as I remember, it shouldn't be too hard to get through. So might have to Dremel it out just a tad, but we don't want it to be, you know, we don't want it to be loose for sure. Okay, so since it's not going through right now, it means we've got a little piece of screw that's just kind of hanging out there, which we just need to sand down. Sand it down so this piece can go through, and we should be good to go on this. A lot of times, what I use is there's these cool little, either a small sanding bit, which can actually fit in there, because you don't want it to be the same size and they're bouncing around and mess up your stuff and make the hole bigger than it's supposed to be. So I take one that's about this big right here. You can see that it's got plenty of room to play in there. Make sure that's gonna. There we go. And yeah, we'll use that. This I've done a lot of times too, man. It's like, you know, you just get a better hold if you're able to put that, you know, that screw in just a little further. And then when you sand the bottom of it, a lot of times, you know, it kind of goes from this point to almost like kind of, you know, you're sanding this right here, and it just kind of flattens out, and it almost kind of just gives it a better, kind of a more secure hold, I guess. It kind of fills in, which is pretty cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and sand this down from the inside just a little bit. I think it's right here that's giving us our problem. I can see it. Going from the other side too, just in case. A lot of times you'll see me kind of going in and out like a sawing motion. That tends to kind of grind the screws a little bit easier, a little bit better. Okay, we're halfway through there. Oh no, we're all the way. We're all the way through. Right. Yeah, it's a nice fit. And let's go ahead and double test it just in case. You know what I mean? Tyrone, I appreciate that, man. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't scare you tonight with any of these. Like, sometimes we have little mistakes like this, and like I said, man, if it came to worst, I'm humble. I don't mind showing off my mistakes and whatnot and stuff like that. Like I said, I think it's better that way, but we could always get this thing, you know, back in order for you. You can always fix it even after it's broke. Even if the fix didn't work, you know, you can always go back. Oh man, this is nice. So this is a real tight fit. The issue I'm only seeing one little problem, and it looks like we got a little line right here. It's not like it's connected, but it's like a slight, I don't know, I'd have to probably show this off in like, oh man, I just got Guile's freaking joint stuck to my arm hair. That's neat. There's like a small little imperfection. It's right here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how bad that is. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Let me make sure I don't have any kind of, that's why I wear these crappy jeans. Make sure I don't have any super glue on me before we go in and do this. All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get Ryu. Here's our arm. So first steps first. Looks like this right here is going to go in that way. This only keys in one way. Grab this. All right. Let's go ahead and set this guy in to place where it needs to be. You know what? Maybe I should sand this down just a little bit more. Hang tight. I don't want to be too loose, but also don't want it to be, too funky. All right, let's see if that'll fit, and if not, I might need to heat it up. There we go. Yeah, I just needed a little extra. I think whenever I glued it back together the first time, I don't think I got it completely even. Whoops, but that's okay. We can sand. I was able to sand all that down. All right, so here's like kind of the moment of truth, just to see how rounded we got it. A lot of times, what I like to do when there is a joint like this at play, you can still break those joints sometimes. You never know. Like, obviously, this PVC plastic, it broke on us as well. So I try to find something that's about the same size. And let's see if this fits in with, like, no real... It's a little too big. Let's see if we can use one of these. Something a little smaller. Okay, so what that does is basically saves our peg right now. We're not risking any break on the peg. And put this back on the charger real quick, guys. So let's see if this will, while this is in here, let's see if we can. Okay. I don't know how far that's supposed to go up. It looks pretty good. Well, I think that's as far as it does go up. Oh yeah, because it gets smaller right here. Cool. Okay, so that's in. I believe that's where we want it. And now let's try to key this peg in, see what happens there. Okay. Looks like it's going through pretty well. It looks like I'm gonna have to use some pliers on this. Here's a little trick for you. What you want to do in a situation like that is you take some leather. A piece of leather works. You can find this at a scrap, or if you, I don't know, just wherever you can find it. Just grab yourself some leather. You can wrap this piece like so. And usually I would, this actually is double safe. This right here has no teeth as far as pliers go. So you put it here, make sure everything's lined up. There we go, nice and flat. Pegs in there, it's keyed in. You can see that this is where it goes in. Right there. And let's see. Let's give it a little test and see if that worked. Oh, dang. Put it in too tight. Ah, that's sad. All right. God dang it. That's dumb, dude. It freaking ripped right out of that screw. Son of a gun. Well, it was close, I guess, but dang. I think what happened there is it just needs to be a little, I should have sanded down the screw a little more, which actually I could probably go back in and do that, but sometimes it happens. If I would have, so right there, if I would have shaved down that center hole just a little bit more, that would have been a wonderful fix. That sucks. Happens. But so what I'll have to probably do now is just make one from scratch. What are you gonna do, guys? We guess we can go back to Guile, and maybe once I try to put this on, it will explode on me. We'll see what happens. Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. We'll get it fixed. So we're going to go back to Guile. It's such a bummer. That was such an elaborate repair for it to not work. Like I said, I've never tried one that small before. So maybe that was the issue, but I knew whenever I started trying to bend that it was too tight. And I went for it anyway. But sometimes that's, I guess, better because it's an acid test. And it would really suck if I sent it back and, it broke. Okay, so we've got our Guile looking really good over here at least. Son of a gun. Yeah, I'll just have to do the old... I wanted to try something new, and, I got to try it, so that was cool. But like I said, I'll just make a smaller joint. Or I'll make a joint out of scratch plastic. I'll find a plastic that matches that color, and I'll do it tonight as well. Probably won't do it live just because I don't want you guys to have to sit here that long, but I will do that tonight. I feel kind of bad about that. I was expecting to ship these off in the morning, and I'm going to do that. I just have to make another joint. That's actually one of the more, I would say, simple joints to make, but we'll see. All right, so since we've got Guile's deal done here, first thing we want to do is we want to clamp it back. I've sanded down that screw at a diagonal angle, and what we're going to do here is just pop this back on. See that this is, man. Now this is solid. Ah, man, it bothers me that it didn't work. I wanted that to work. It was just too cool, man. The world wasn't ready for that one. Okay. So anyways, yeah, man. I'm sorry, dude. Like I said, we'll get it all straightened out. I just really wanted that to work. Oh, man, what am I doing? That's how bad I'm, flustered right now, is that I went to use my end clippers on this instead of my big cutters. And where is my bag? Go. All right, now this one right here, this one requires a little more finesse, just the stronger Dremel to sand this down, just because it's a much thicker screw. So I use the Dremel 4000 here, and this shouldn't take too long. Just give me a second. Yeah, I would blame Ori too, man. I feel like I just screamed that yeah real loud, and I was just probably scared a lot of people. Okay, so now we've got... Oh man, this feels so good. Listen, you can... I wonder if you can you hear that? It's such a tight fit. It feels really good. This is a good one. Okay, cool. Well, at least we got that one. All right, so first up, what we want to do, we want to heat up the boot, or the leg. We heat up the leg first. Well, I guess technically you could heat up the... No, I'd rather heat up the leg. Heat up the leg. Doesn't take but a... Now, this is a heat gun. You got to be real careful with these. A lot of times you can soak stuff in water. It's just usually faster, and I've figured out how to use it. God, I hate that that didn't work. I'm just looking at it, it just crumbled. I should have known better, but whatever. I wanted to try it, and I tried it. Dang it. I need to make sure I'm putting this in the right way, though. Okay, it looks like the opening, the hole here or whatever, goes on the inside. Yeah, according to that leg over there. Okay. So that's back in. I want to make sure that's in all the way. Is that correct? I guess it does kind of hang out a little bit. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, look at this. We're about to do this. Let me do one quick. A lot of times I like to sand just around it just a little bit. I do that just in case there's any imperfections or whatnot from the glue. And the boot. Let's see what the boot looks like. Just in case. Sometimes I like to sand these down too. Just a little sanding in the boot. Nothing crazy. Okay. So next, what I'll usually do is I'll take either a screwdriver or something like that and shove that into where the boot hole's at here. And we'll heat it up while holding it out like so. And it looks like this peg, the toe peg, is kind of popped out a little bit, so maybe we can push that in while we're here. Not yet. That's feeling pretty good. I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver here and see if we can't push that peg in just a little bit. There we go. And then what we should get here is a boot. Oh man, I felt the pop. It was so good. Okay, test it just a little bit. Move it here, move it there. All right, that's feeling great. We also got this peg pushed back in right here. Nice. So what we're gonna let that do, we're gonna let that cool for a minute. It's feeling great. I don't have any doubts on that one. But the elephant in the room, this big chunk of fail that's right here in front of us. Glad you guys were here. This fail is brought to you by the letter F. Fill in the blank. Use your imagination. So here we go. God, look at this. Look at this sadness. Oh man, if Nolan's still watching, I bet he's laughing. But he's like, I told you it wouldn't work. When you're right, you're right. That must. Oh, my rib cage popped. Yeah. So Chris here is telling a true story. Yeah, Ori doesn't like hot dogs because he grew up on a hot dog farm. And one day all the hot dogs revolted and they kicked him off his land. And so that's how that happened, man. And it sucks. Like all I can do is try to, but there are reasons for the Beef Frank hot dog revolt of 2018. I don't want to get into it personally, but it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate event, for sure. So what I need to do now is get this little chunk of fail slightly pieced back together. I feel like I could have part of me wants to see it live, but ain't gonna happen. I want to say I'd even broken a new spot. That'd be great. Like the one spot that wasn't broken in there, and I'm pretty sure that's where it broke. But what I want to do is I want to put some super glue on it, and I need to get it, basically I need to shape it up, get it back into shape. So I've got something that I can completely work with and replicate. Now this is something I've gotten actually pretty dang good at, over doing this for over a decade now. And I don't know how this happened, but I was able to like replicate, you know, I mean, I guess it's just with practice, like with everything, but I can replicate joints, just sanding them down, from scratch plastic. Almost like a, oh, dare I say, a Michelangelo of plastic, and just with basic shapes. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Ori's been kicked out of every Oscar Mayer plant there is. It's, he's not nice to him. He's not, oh, I did not just drop that piece. Stop. Stay in the crease of the jeans. Oh, there's no... Hey, guys, you know what? You remember those... remember when I do streams and I drop something every single time that I was on the stream? And then that time I was on the stream and I dropped something? Hey, it happened again. No. I saw it fall down the fold of my pants. It's like we, last night we witnessed, Guile breaking. Storm Collectibles broke this man. Oh man, for real though, where the hell did it go? So my make you shake your leg out. Man, I was all excited. I was gonna open up a figure after I was done with these, like a bottle of champagne, but that'd be like my celebration. Is open up a new figure. But nope. Man, I don't understand. You know, it's like, I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys play guitar, but it's like when you drop a guitar pick and somehow you drop it in your room and it ends up in your aunt's house in like Oregon, and you do not live in Oregon. Okay? That's what happens with the plastic pieces that apparently hit my floor. I can't believe I lost that just now. Did I seriously lose that? Good night, everybody. Just freaking get out of here. Dang it. For reals? You fall under the light? Where'd you go? I feel like this is like, if this was on television, this is where they have to go to that, like, we'll be right back, and it's my head on a bee body. It's like, dude, Tyrone, I swear, man. I'm you know what? You ended up being on a really good stream. I think they could consider this a good stream. When things just go awry, and son of a gun, really? That's such a weird piece too. I really didn't want to lose it just because, oh well. I can figure it out. It's just plugging the hole, really. I just wanted to know the width of it, but I can see it through the hand. So I have to wing it. No big deal. I'll find it next year. Watch. But what I want to do is make sure. So what we're going to do here, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm not going to stop streaming. If you guys want to hang out, cool. If it ends up being 0 viewers and I could probably just kill the stream, I think I'm just going to keep going. If you guys think that's cool. There's 10 of you in here, 10 loyal people, 10 good people, 10 friends. If you want to stay in here and watch this, cool. If you got to split. I'm not going to. But I cannot, I just, in my conscience, I cannot leave this not fixed. So, this is that's a little too bright. So I need a little darker piece So what's going to happen here, I should have prepared for this just in case, but I didn't. So what I have to find now is a piece of plastic that's going to be the right thickness, or I can shave it down into the right thickness. But the problem I'm seeing right now is that it's got to be the right color. Even though you barely see any of it, I don't want like some crazy bright piece sticking out from his elbow. So what I got to do is find a hard piece of plastic too, because I can't put some gummy thing in there. Now I do keep joints like this on I thought this would work right here. It was close. Let's set this over here. Keep joints like this on hand, because sometimes you can find one that works. I don't know if this is going to work for the right size or not. We'll see what we got going on here. All right. So I'm looking for something that's flesh tone joint. I wonder if... So I also always keep, like, anytime I get stuff cast from Casting Cave, which Nolan said I should have done. Oh man, look at that. Well, that's not as noticeable. I think this is one of those really nice joints though. And it's not quite. So here's the funky thing about this guy is that it's not like normal joints. What is this thing? Some kind of weird neck. It's got like a square end on it. So it's round and then it goes into like this square end. The end peg is kind of a rectangle, which is really strange. So it makes it harder to find a joint that you can just kind of shave down and put in there. I don't think any of these are going to work. I could probably make it fit properly. Although it's not like he has, removable arms or anything, so it's not like you really know as long as the plastic's the right color. Let me shift through here one more time before I start digging deep. Man, that bright one's not... It's just a little too bright. I don't want to do a bright piece of plastic if it's not going to match the color correctly. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, dig into the reserves, man. That won't work. Like I said, I've got like a bunch of I keep these random casts that a lot of times when Corey does his casting, he'll send me just like any of the extras or duds. He calls them duds. A lot of times I can use them. He says some things are duds, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Looks like a work of art. But I think I do have some kind of flesh tone joints. Just gotta go deep. We gotta dig deep, guys. Seeing where all these things are. I started labeling all these drawers, and now, that moment where you realize you should have kept labeling them. Oh, that is really wide. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. There's like, I've got some casts of Dragon Man feet in here. Golly, something tells me dust would be everywhere. I'd like something with just a little tiny bit of give. That way, whenever that thing goes in, there's no chance of it, snapping on me. Alright, there's some joints in here. Where you at? I know for a fact he gave me some that were like a slight flesh tone color. And Corey doesn't do just like the generic colors. He does really cool special colors. He likes his stuff to really match better. Son of a gun. Hang on. I know he did though. He did some for a I think it was a Cami figure, like a Resaurus figure. And even though it would be like a hip piece, I can shave it down and we can make it work. guess. No? What is this? It's going to be too small, isn't it? I think it's already broken. Man. So something else used that, something like that too. Give me a second. Hang on. Hang tight. Oh man, an ankle joint would work too. Old school ankle joints would work. Oh man, I think I just found like a bunch of Mofex like Spider-Man wrist casts, but I think they were the wrong color. They don't really work that well. So fun fact, daily we tend to do chats with our, my close friends, like Ori and my friend Ant and Corey and all sorts of people on there. And this is what it's like. There's a lot of like this pausing deal or whatever, and it's like, all right, I gotta go find this. And I'm sitting here just like, you can hear like drawers shifting and plastic moving around, and it's just me just rummaging around like a pack rat, trying to find those joints. Dang it. Man, I don't know what I did with them, dude. Oh, hell, I think I just found them. Oh, hell, I think I did. Okay. Let's see. I put the drawer in backwards. You know how that works. We might end up using this piece right here. This thing is, I keep eyeballing it. It's just kind of lighter colored, and I don't want it to be too light. Oh man, I think these might be lighter than the ones I was using. Just dropped it. Okay. Let's see what we got here. That's an interesting color. Okay. What we got here? Let's see what we got. Got some joints like this. This might work. Bit weird, but I don't think it'd be as obvious, but let's see. Oh, it's a little pink. That's crazy bright white. Yeah, man, this is a very specific color. Dang, man. I wish I had the... Another thing I could use is potentially a, those wrestler figures, like the Mattel wrestler figures. Those might work as well, and I think I've got some of those over here. I've got a big box of like fodder that I keep just in case. You never know when you're gonna need something like this, and that's what we need right now. Let me see if I've got anything down here. How's everybody? All right, so what I can do here is ask, has anybody picked up any new figures lately? Let me know. That's how I keep the conversation fresh. Trying to see if we got any kind of, like an old neck joint would be really good. Whatever. DC/UC parts. I don't know, an old neck piece would be great. An old ankle joint would be wonderful. Gotta figure that out. I have to like dig down in this freaking hole. I'm gonna like disappear from the stream for a minute. Man, I thought I had some old wrestling figures that I could just chop up. Maybe I got rid of them? I don't know. I've been trying to like do better and get rid of stuff. Man, these feel like they'd be great too. There's like this wrestling figure here. Oh man, look at that. That is nice. Just ordered Mafex Hush damaged box from Amazon for $78. Heck yeah, dude. It's awesome. See, Julian, for your egg drop, I would think... Let me scroll back up. Let me double check here. Julian, court question. For any... All right, I have to make a device where I put the egg in and drop it from a balcony, and it cannot break, and the egg has to be easily accessible to where I can take it in and out of the device. I cannot use foam, any food, and it has to fit in an 11-11-11 box. So easily accessible. I'm trying to think of like if you could use like elastic string, but if it's easily accessible, that's not really accessible. Oh, if you were able to like take a box, right? 11-11-11. Okay. And if you were to like, the way I'm seeing this is like rubber bands going through it and making some kind of cradle where the rubber bands are just kind of like in there, like a shock mount is what it would be. I bet that would work. Because you can even put like a rubber band all the way around, like through a box, and you could just, you know, if the band went through the box, you could put a piece on the outside like this so the band can't go back in, right? And it could be even like popsicle sticks, something simple like that. Just put plenty of them out there where they're not going to be able to break through. You just need a little thing where you can open the box and it's in a little cradle and you could open it up. That's probably what I would try first. Since you can't use foam, you know, that definitely poses, I mean, that would be the best answer. But, yeah, I think you could use something cool like that. Obviously, and hey, remember what we do on here, Julian. Make sure you test it. Don't go walking into school being like, this is going to work. And it doesn't. You're like, it's like, well, did you test it? No. Okay, then. Where did the peg go? All right. Now I'm starting to feel like a mess. The peg is somewhere around here too. I need to know just how big to make this hole, and I think this hole right here is really good. Man, this piece right here seems perfect. I want to use this so bad. It's hard plastic. And it's not even that far off from the right color. And I mean, if it's close, then we could just shave this baby down and knock it out. But I wouldn't be surprised. My clumsy ass. There it is. All right, there's the peg. Found the peg. Okay, let's see. Oh, dude, the peg. The peg fits in this piece too. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try it with this piece right here. I think this might work. Just trying to see if it's the right size. Man, it sure is freaking close. I wish I could find the rest of the dang thing that broke off. It's super weird, man. It's one of those things where I saw it hit my pants. It fell down. Making sure it didn't fall on my shoe or something weird. Oh man, I need that piece so I can replicate this. Oh, that's such a bummer. I don't want to go in blind and not be able to. You know what? Okay, here's what I can do. I can go ahead and shave it down. I'm going to shave this piece down to the right thickness and then go from there. Here we go. Getting excited for tomorrow's Super 7 Ultimates Mandora and her evil chaser bike. Cool. Also tomorrow, don't forget that Usagi Yojimbo and the Neutrinos, look down there, go up for pre-order on NECA store NECAstore.com. TheNECAstore.com. All right, here we go. I'm going to sand this down. Okay, we're going to have to use the super Dremel. I want to make sure we get this down further. And then we're going to just have to finagle this piece, which I think we can. I think we definitely can do this. All right, sand it down. Come on. Sand it down. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's see if this will. I don't know if it's gonna like sell out though, or if they're gonna do the whole thing where. Let's see real quick while I'm here. It's limited 2 per household, so they might do the thing where it's like made to order, which like they've been doing. These will be available over the course of days, March 8th through March 17th. There's no way you can miss out on this if you have money in between March 8th and March 17th. Yeah, it's definitely made to order. You're right. It's made to order. You're good. Get you that Usagi, guys. You have to. I wish I had time. I would show you my custom one. Maybe next time. See, that thing's not going to be here. I got a custom one, and I think this head will fit on him. While this one's really accurate to the TV show, I've got one that's a bit taller and slender. More slender. The one coming out looks gorgeous, man. I mean, it matches that style and everything, so don't sleep on Usagi. The neutrinos are coming home too. I freaking love the neutrinos, so got to get them too. All right, I'm gonna see if this fits. It's a little too thick right now. Let's go ahead and we'll go back in, sand her down a little more. I'll tell you what, I will go till 10 o'clock. All right. If I don't get it by then, I don't get it by then. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We're going to shave down this. So right now, I've got a pretty good thing going on here. Okay. Let's go in through here. See if we can't get any of this junk in the middle out. See if this will fit. Man, it's definitely getting there. Looks like we just need a, looks like it's a little thick on some spots, but we're getting there. A lot thinner than you think it would be. Okay, we got this nice and trim. Let's try it again. You want to go small, you know, you don't want to go too crazy. Oh man, I think this might work, dude. Look at that. The color's just like a fraction off too, so that's pretty nice. Okay, cool. So right now, look at this. Let's see. I think I'd be interested to see. I'm not gonna force this thing, but I'd like to see if where it is in its current state, if it could actually. Dude, look at that. Boom. The peg fits. And it bends all the way. Oh man, snug too. It's snug, but it's got just enough movement. It feels, man, it feels very smooth. Okay, so, wow, look at that. Okay, so that's awesome. That's really, really good. So now all we have to do is figure out a way to attach it here, which this, you can see it's a weird square kind of peg. It's not really a big deal. This thing wasn't really long to begin with. I really wish I could find it so I knew the size I needed to replicate. But you know what? We're just going to have to wing it. And the beautiful thing about this, though, is we can make the end thicker if we needed to. But right now, it's round. So what we have to do, make it square. I'm going to go ahead and take it back out. Man, I'm very... God, how about that? That's bananas. Nah, that's the life of the Toycanic, y'all. Thanks for hanging in there for those of you who've done it. All 6 of you. Guys, this is a crazy stream, man. Unparalleled universe ain't got shit on me. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and we're going to kind of flatten this guy out here. Just a bit. Just going by memory here. So let's see what happens. Kind of what I did was I took my Dremel here, and you can see right. Let's see. This is where I've kind of flattened it on the edges here, and let me kind of scrape this off. Let me get some of that excess nasty off of there. So I kind of like just ran my Dremel like, watch this, like so see, it's, you can't really tell because it looks like I'm straight down, but technically it'd be like this at an angle. So it's like this kind of a diagonal angle. Basically what that's doing is making a little notch in here. And I don't know. I don't. Man, it kind of sucks. I'm going from memory, like I said. But what I'll do is I'll make like a little notch and kind of sand it down. Ori, you're out, man. You shouldn't be scouting for those. That one target messed up the street dates in like Oregon or something, and Ori's out there trying to find another one that messed up the street date. Bless that man. Straight up. Or no, seriously, the Ori is like one of those, he's the dude that like kind of kept me collecting turtles too. I love turtles. It's my favorite thing to collect, but it got to the point where like the Target exclusives were going to be too much, and my buddy Pharaoh Black was keeping me in a supply with them for the longest time. And then Ori, I met Ori and we hit it off real well. He was in the Unparalleled universe. He'd show up in their streams or his stream, and then he started showing up in mine because I started going on before, and we hit it off. And he turned out he was local, so I got to meet him, and dude's great. Immediately made a friend. So Now he goes on these crazy hunts all the time because he's able to do that stuff, and he's always the one that's like, "Hey, found you some turtles." So PayPal him. Okay, so here's a moment of truth. Will it fit? I don't know. Let's see. It's gonna be. That is awesome. So, it does fit. It clicks on with just a little bit of super glue right here. I think we've got a solid repair. In fact, you could glue this on. Before, am I right? Does this doesn't swap out, does it? If it doesn't swap out, then we could put a dab of super glue on it, slap this baby on, it ain't coming back off. If that's how this fits. I believe it came without it on as you sent it over here. If he has like swappable, does this character supposed to have swappable arms or anything, or is this just it? Dude, that was straight from memory. Like, that's awesome, man. Now that's a good stream, dude. That's cool as heck, man. Woo! You got the touch, right? Man, that's amazing. Wow. That was amazing. 9 people just saw something amazing. Okay, so if it doesn't swap in and out, then all we have to do is add a little dab of glue and this thing's on. Dude, the color difference is... It's not... Look. It's barely noticeable, and also, he's got his arm back. So for a slight change in color, and in like the most unnoticeable way, we got him back in order, man. Only hands, not arms. Great. All we got to do is... Here we go. Man. That is crazy special what just happened. That is amazing. Man, I want to get this piece cast because it's so good. Man, that was just a one and done. Let's see if it works. All right. Let's make sure our super glue's not going to go everywhere on us here tonight. This is its last run. It was a good soldier tonight. All right. So all we got to do is add just a little here on the end, and that's it. All right, here it comes. So we're going to go ahead and be real careful here. Popped on. Wow. I mean, wow. Oh, no, don't drop that. No. Come here, you. Gosh, I'm clumsy right now. Good. Get his freaking wrist. Let that dry. And complete success. From almost near like perfect success, like a crazy experimental success that didn't quite pan out for us. It doesn't mean I won't try that again, because oh man, I was wondering, that's a real, I don't know, man. I might not ever do that like that. That's a bit much. I will like bring things together with screws. A lot of times that's a pretty solid repair, but bigger joints with thicker screws, those small ones and whatnot, and I think the plastic was just, I think it took too many of those like we said, it looked like a Tinker toy at that point. So yeah, we lost probably the integrity of it and whatnot. Look at that. Oh, he's so limited. That's the only thing that kind of sucks about that one. Oh, you know what? Since you guys are here still with me, I'll show you my custom Usagi Yojimbo. This is the official one. So this one actually, I don't know if I can get to it because my room's a freaking nightmare right now. But I have. Let's see if I can find it. It's right there. Look, thank you, God. Appreciate that. Check this out. So we're gonna set Ryu over here. You're good to go. We'll pop Sagat's leg on real quick. Let's double check on that one. This is our boot we fixed. Yeah. A lot of times you want to make sure you can take a look in there and make sure that it's not broken or anything like that. Yeah. Hell yeah. So he's good to go. Pop that leg on. You said it'd be flash kicking in no time. This, real quick, to end the stream tonight, is this is my custom Usagi Yojimbo. Maybe I can cut the lights off here so it's not so bright. I made this, golly, years ago. Long time ago. I believe these hands. Oh man, where did these hands come from? I think they might have actually came from this Usagi figure, and I repainted the Usagi head. This is I forget the name of the character. It's like Rurouni Kenshin or something like that. There's a Revo figure. I painted on his insignias here. The sword comes out. The fun factor of this one though is this. So I can take his head off and see if we can't get this off here. Just kind of a standard Figma joint here, and you can actually see if I haven't put this head on in a long time. It's usually the other one. Let's see if I can get it. Might have to Dremel out my own custom here. I don't ever like mess with this thing, so it's been a minute. Let's see if I can Dremel this out a little bit. I just remember this thing took like 1,000 coats of white paint to do, which was really fun. Yeah, it's a little tight, but that's okay. Yeah, look at that. So this is the classic Playmates Usagi, which I repainted more white, gave him like the black band, like the Stan Sakai comic version. And it's like the belt comes off, and I also, this is kind of fun. We got all these accessories with him. So if you want to take the sword out, it's got one of those things, I believe. I don't know if this goes in or not. Oh, it does go in. Cool. So there's this white belt. There's this one here. And then I gave him, like, this is kind of neat. I gave him, oh yeah, that's right. This is the one that, like, the sword stays in, which is kind of weird. I don't understand why they gave you one that the sword can totally go in, unless I gave it a different sword. Maybe I gave it a different sword. Anyways, I found this, like, Donald Duck that was like couple dollars at a Walmart. I think it was a Walmart or a dollar store. I can't remember. I think it was Walmart. And so I grabbed him because the only thing really this figure's missing is some bunny feet. I never really got the feet correct. I do have sandals on him. Let's drop that off right now. But check this out. This is kind of cool. So you can... Man, I had to fix these hands on here. Golly. There we go. Check these out. I thought these were fun. These are like Donald Duck hands. They're like these big old fat chunky, like spread out 4-fingered hands that seem to work pretty well with the figure itself. So I thought that was kind of fun. That's right, man. My friend Anthony is the one that took the swords from this. So I've only got this sword sheath here that came with that bit, I believe. But yeah. Anyways, just something kind of fun here just to show off to you guys. And I think that head right there will fit on this figure. And since it's painted stark flat white, I think it might work, which would be pretty dope. You know what I mean? It'd be really cool to fit that on there. Golly, I should just get 2 of these things. I bet I've got another one of those joints. I'm fixing. Man, I stopped doing customs for people a long time ago. I do want to do a few more for myself. There's just a couple of characters I'd really like to do. I had my own, like, I had a Ace Duck for the longest time, and then they finally made that one. NECA finally started going nuts with all these figures, man. Like, how could you stop collecting turtles at this point? If you were in it from the get-go, and even then, it feels like they're going to re-release things, and like they're making it accessible for everybody now. There we go. I got a new neck joint on him. Boom. All right. Pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. Thank you for the ones who stayed. Thank you for the ones who didn't stay. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight and watching that train wreck that went down earlier. Nah, it's fun, man. I mean, I enjoy it. You didn't see me sweating. But, you know, sometimes you run into mistakes and you got to fix them. And that's how that works. You know what I mean? We have fun. As my friend Ori would say, we have fun here. You know, we have fun here. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, dude, when I sat there and bent that thing, and it was like, I'm like, well, you either fix it or you don't. You know what I mean? The people came. These people came here to see you fix that figure. And you're going to fix it. So, thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry I kept you guys up so late. You know, I just had to do it. Just had to do that. Yeah. I remember this. I had to take this thing apart. I think the leg just came off of this thing. I think I had to glue this thing on. I think I took this thing apart and used Duplicolor to reattach everything. And yeah, that was a fun time. All right, guys. Anyways, I'm probably gonna now reattach this leg to my Usagi or Jimbo. That's why I don't make customs anymore. But for real though, yeah, dude, I'm glad you were here. Thanks for showing up, man. And I'll message you. I'll get you your total and everything. And I think we should be able to get this shipped out tomorrow. If you got funds on you, that'd be great. So we can knock that out. But yeah, dude, thank you for showing up, man. I think that was awesome. That's just really cool. There's something really awesome whenever the clients show up, especially a new one, especially a really, really patient one like yourself. I know I think these came in they came in so long ago. It's just like always trying to you know, there's so much stuff that goes on. There's so much other things that I got going on in my personal life too that I'm trying to balance with all this stuff. So it's pretty crazy doing all that stuff. But either way, you know, we get it done. But I really appreciate you showing up. I think that's really cool of you. Dang, Greg Pfeiffer here at the end though. What's up, dude? I just got into Storm via MK and Street Fighter. Already fixed a hot Ryu ankle and pelvic peg, but that's it. Hey, I get it. Those things break, and we got to fix them. Got to get out there and fix them. That's awesome, man. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to check on the Spider-Man real quick to see if I'm done with that thing. It never ends. And then if I'm lucky, I can play 20 minutes of Elden Ring, which would be great. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Take care of each other. As always, I love you guys. And have a great night. And I'm sure we'll be posting throughout the